Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I'm super excited to announce the release of my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. If you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level in 2021, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome. Welcome, one and all. Samantha and I are back together again this glorious Tuesday. Hi, Samantha.
Hello, Erica. So good to see your face again.
So good to see yours. Yes, I missed you last week. I had a busy week. I went on a little excursion, a little girl trip to Sedona, and yeah. So if you hear it in my voice, it's because I had a little bit too much fun.
Oh, that's good. I don't know if you can have too much fun.
Well,
Well, yes. Yeah, there
no,
could be
no.
times where
Healthy. This
you
was good, healthy fun. Yeah,
Oh,
lots of laughter and not too much sleep because we were just enjoying each other so much. So, yeah.
good.
But some really big themes came up this weekend, and I think that they are, floating around in the collective. And so Samantha and I thought we would talk about it today. And that idea is the idea of pressure, the pressure that we all feel that exists like surrounding us in our life. All the things that we feel like we have to do, have to get done. And in order to do this, I need to know this in order to move forward. And we feel so much pressure, right? And yeah, and when we can just release that idea and just know that we are held, and if we just follow
Mm,
the breadcrumbs of life, follow our joy, our passion, and we go in that direction, it's all gonna play out exactly the way it's supposed to. And I feel like right now, I don't know if you guys are noticing it with this big full moon in Scorpio right now, the super moon, but we're getting a lot of clearing, a lot of clearing, a lot of change is happening, and a lot of things that were not standing in integrity in our heart centers are crumbling. And we're
mm.
seeing a lot of it, and it's all good. It's all good. It all has to happen. It's like it's the tower moment of the tarot, and that is all for a very good reason. All that pressure
Mm.
can come crumbling down.
Yeah, that's definitely a theme that's been coming up in my life as well as my clients. And you know how it is. When you're a coach, it feels like what you're going through in your life, all of your clients happen to be going through the same thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, of
And
course.
there's these currents of themes
Uh-huh.
and that's something that I recognize with myself too. I look back at my life and I realize, wow, the majority of my life I operated through immense pressure that I've put on myself and this self-inflicted pressure and I realize now what I've been going through for a while, resisting for a while, but really surrendering to is I don't want that anymore. My body doesn't want that. I don't want to create from a place of timelines and pressure and need to achieve and need for this and that and not good enoughness and all of these stories and these blueprints and these programs and it just feels like there I literally cannot force things anymore
Correct.
from this energy of pressure. I don't want
Mhm.
to.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm seeing as well is this shift into instead of forcing, penetrating, and pressuring through life, well, how can we surrender and receive and allow and move through in a more gentle, delicate, and harmonious way?
Yeah, yeah, another very, very huge, huge theme. I love how these themes are in the air. They're in the collective and they're here for us all to look at and to recognize. Because you're so right. We cannot I mean, come on. You try to hold water in your hand, hold it tighter. Hold it tighter, see what happens. It's gone. You hold it very,
Yeah.
very loosely in the palm of your hand. You don't squeeze. The looser you hold it, the easier it stays, right? And so we do not need to force things. And our society has been living this masculine energy for such a long time. And we feel like we do need to push, push, push. And we don't. This divine feminine is coming in now. And there is really this
Mm.
absurgence of it, where we are to just settle, we can just settle into it and receive. And that's surrendering and being vulnerable. And that is our biggest strength. We think that we need to be like strong and push forward, but no, it's in that vulnerability that we find our biggest strength. And that divine
Mm.
feminine aspect will hold us so gently there, in that safety
Mm.
too, because it is very safe. We think it's not, but it is.
Yeah, that you just touched on. This is one of the struggles that I've had and that I have not gone through yet. It's still coming up really strong for me. Is the trust. The
Yeah.
masculine is not trusting that the that things can be and happen from a different way. And so what that looks like for me is, well, the stories that come up are like, well, Sam, if you don't make it happen, how's it going to happen? If you
Right.
just lay on the couch for a few days, you're going to get absolutely nothing done and you'll be far behind. And if you don't like figure it out, well, how are you going to know what the path is? Like, how are you going to figure this out? What
Hmm.
are you going to do? Like, you're going to, your whole life is going to pass you by and you're going to miss your destiny and you're going to fail and you'll never be successful and nothing will ever happen. And then it just spirals. And I notice this in myself. And then the anxiety comes and then the panic comes. And then I move from this place of anxiety and panic. Well, I have to do something. I have to create. I have to go and da 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 da. And it's like not giving, what I'm seeing is we're not giving ourselves enough time and space and trust to really go through the cycle and allow that shift to happen because of this like anxious overdrive that comes in and takes over.
Sure. Need to know, need to have a plan, gotta have it all this way. And how often in your life do you do that and it doesn't work out that way? Huh. How about that?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't supposed to. Because your higher self is in charge. It has the little control panel helping to guide you along the way. And
Yeah.
they're the plan makers. You know, when we talked about this again this weekend and we didn't have a plan for like what we were going to do and how it was all going to play out. We just allowed it to flow the way it was supposed to. And the most amazing things wound up happening, of course. And when we asked the higher selves, when we put ourselves in trance, because we like to do that when we're together, um, when we asked, we said, well, what's the next thing we should do? And, we ask all these questions about, what our group should be doing. And they said, we've got this. The reason why you're all here is because we handled it. You really can just stop trying to do because just listen and follow those breadcrumbs and listen to those thoughts and those inner guidances because we are guiding you in that direction. You don't need to do anything. We've got you. We
Mm.
want you to go in this direction, right?
Mm.
And we can
Yeah.
totally settle into that. Really. If we are living our true purpose and following our heart, they've got us. Your higher self has got you. All your guides and angels and source, however you want to look at it. You are being so tightly held. So
Yeah.
tightly held. Yeah.
Okay, so let's play the scenario. Okay, so I have some tools. However, a lot of people I don't think have all of the tools, and I don't have all the tools. But
Me
for anyone
neither.
listening who's in my position, okay, your body's telling you like you need to stop, you need to take a break. This isn't working anymore. So you give yourself a few days to really just chill, enjoy, go for hikes, watch TV, do whatever. But then you have this crippling anxiety, like I can't trust, I can't just do nothing. I have to push, I have to do, and all of those stories come up, all of that anxiety comes up, and you have this drive to go and just like force something to happen. What would you recommend that they do or practice in that moment to anchor back into the trust, or to do they go and do something to help their anxiety? Do they not? Like, what do they actually do in that situation?
I would say you do whatever you feel guided to do because it's not about doing nothing, right? It's not about just sitting around doing nothing. It's doing what you are guided to do, right? Like, okay, for example, this weekend when we were up there, well, one day we were like, we're going to go to the Grand Canyon. Okay, that wasn't even a thought, but it's coming up. It all feels good. Let's do that. Okay, so we all hop in the car, we go to the Grand Canyon. Wouldn't it be fun? So we started manifesting. You guys, we had Monica Dunn on the show last Thursday. I had all the practitioners, and she manifests in such a wonderful way. Wouldn't it be fun if, right? So she says on the road, wouldn't it be fun if we saw some wild horses? And I'm like, yeah, that would be fun because I've lived here for 20 years and have seen them maybe once. 20 minutes later, wild horses right next to the side of the road, just grazing away. So beautiful. Then she's like, well, wouldn't it be fun if we saw an elk? All right. We pull up into the Grand Canyon, and about 5 minutes in, we are stopped because a herd of elk are crossing the street. So not just one, but a whole ton of elk, right? And so because we just eased into whatever our breadcrumbs were for the day and did that, the rest of it unfolded. And so really that's what it is. It's just doing what you're guided to do. If you're guided to sit in meditation, do that. If you're guided to sit and play the guitar, do that. If you're, guided to make a nice healthy meal, do that. If you're guided to call a friend, do that. It's just like you are being told all the time. We fight it. We think that that's not the
Yeah.
answer. It is the answer. You always have the answers. They were very stern about this also in the trance sessions that we did. Um, you already have the answers. You have to
Mm.
trust them and listen to them. You know what to do. You already know.
Yeah.
And you don't need to know what's going to happen. You can trust that it will always be okay. Always be okay.
Mm.
That is such a huge message. It's going to be okay.
I love that. Yeah, what I'm
Mhm.
really hearing is that we have some subtle cues on the inside, some subtle pulls,
Yeah.
and to trust those.
Yeah.
And I feel like oftentimes there are subtle pulls that are pulling us towards something that would feel good, but there are also subtle impulses that are trying to push us away from the pain. So we can really be driven by two energies: one, pain avoidance,
Mhm.
or two, pleasure seeking,
Mhm.
right? And I
Mhm.
find it's really important to identify what is motivating you. Are you right now making a decision because you're trying to avoid pain or
Mhm.
avoid suffering? Or are you making a decision because it feels exciting and it feels like the right thing to do,
Right.
and it feels like, it's bringing you closer to your joy? When you can identify the intrinsic motivation, always do your best, if you can, to go for the option that is seeking what it is that you want, instead of making a decision to avoid what you don't want.
Sure. Yeah. And I think a really helpful tool for that is asking yourself, where do I feel this in my body? Right?
Mm.
Because the right decision you'll feel it in your heart.
Mm.
Absolutely. And the decisions that aren't going to be in your best interest, you'll feel them somewhere in your lower centers, right? And it's
Mm.
like a pang or a hit that you'll feel there when you ask the question. It
Yeah, that's so true.
yeah. Yeah. But your body will tell you.
Before we continue on with today's episode, I'd like to take a moment to tell you a little bit about my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. The concept for the book initially came to me in a dream and has been followed by a next level amount of synchronicity, confirming for me that the information in the book is pertinent to get to the world at this moment in our collective evolution. In the book, I share the 8 keys to manifesting abundance that I've personally discovered over 25 years of trial, error, and deep exploration, including one golden key that ultimately ties them all together. I think most of you will agree with me that talk is a bit cheap, especially these days, and results speak the loudest of all. Well, these keys have led me to manifesting incredible results, such as an Inc. fastest growing private company, uncanny health, incredible relationships, and success with this podcast. However, I'm not any more special than you, and anyone can apply this information to achieve incredible results in their own life. I also believe waking up our planet by sharing these keys to abundance is the quickest way to help us to transition our home into the planet of paradise it is destined to become. Which is why I'd like to gift the book to you at goldenkey.gift when you use the golden key code POSITIVEHEAD. I would also like to invite you to create your own unique golden key code so you in turn can gift the book to others, as well as invite you to participate in a unique abundance manifestation game with me and the other readers that is outlined in detail at the end of the book and on the website, where readers are also going to share the inspiring results of their abundance manifestation experiments. Lastly, I'm going to practice what I preach by sharing 50% of the abundance generated from the golden game and sale of the other golden goodies on the website with you and all the other readers. So if you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD. Also, if you end up loving and appreciating your gifted copy of the book, please take a moment to go to Amazon and give it a review, which will greatly help me reach and unlock more hearts with the golden key.
So just like with the pressure that we were talking about at the beginning of the show, how is that
Yeah.
manifesting for you in your body, Sam?
Yeah. For me and my body, it will often come up as, well, different things depending on what it is. But if I'm acting out of overwhelm or fear and overdoing it, and I'm like just scrambling to make it all happen, I won't be able to digest.
Mm.
It will just be, and when I tune into my stomach, it says too much. You're consuming too much. There's too much energy flowing through you. It's like all of this chaotic energy that your body can't really process. When I feel like I'm really mentally just overthinking, overprocessing, overdoing it, just in my head, going through all of the things, beating myself up, I'll get a headache behind my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It's this low pulling
Mm-hmm.
behind my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm thinking that I'm not good enough and that like hopelessness and that I'll never be successful and nothing will ever happen, the catastrophic thinking, my chest will close and my throat will close.
Wow. Listen to that, you guys. That is very, very potent, powerful information there, because the body speaks to us in all these different ways. And I love this because this is exactly the signs and symptoms like that everyone will feel. The body will
Yeah.
tell you, like when you're overthinking, you get a headache right there behind your third eye. Let it
Yeah.
go. You are guided. You are protected. Right? Yeah. And then
Yeah.
that not digesting this doesn't feel good in my belly. Like I said earlier, like the lower three centers, that doesn't feel good there. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if we understand how literal the signs, because these are signs from our higher self trying to tell us, give us a message through our body, so we pay attention to it. We can't ignore it when our body hurts. So
Yeah.
when we get it, okay, this message, and then they don't want me to feel this pressure. That's why I feel this pressure. Oh, all right. Maybe that helps me let it go a little bit, right? Like my higher guidance is like, you're all right. You don't have to do this. I have help. Okay, I can let it go. I will. You just have to keep telling yourself that, because it
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
hard. It's very hard. We have so much pressure. We think we have, you know, we're the mommy. We have to take care of our families, right? And then there's our work and all our colleagues and the people that we need to support there. And it just goes on and on and on. We're all adults, we're all big people, and we can all take care of ourselves and support one another. No one needs to shoulder all the burden, right? Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, that's it. I like to ask myself, well, where is this pressure coming from? Okay, what is the story here? What is this motivation? And oftentimes it comes from some form of not enoughness.
Mhm.
For myself, I have this immense pressure to make a massive impact on the planet. Like it's this unhealthy drive of mine. There's a shadow side, there's a light side. The light side is, yes, I want to help people. The shadow side is, I will not feel that my life is meaningful unless I affect many, many, many people.
Mhm.
And so I've defined my self-worth and the meaning of my life dependent on some kind of arbitrary metric that's outside of myself.
Mhm.
And so when I recognize that, I'm like, oh wow, okay, well, that there's some form of like, I'm only good enough if, so meaning I'm not good enough now. And that not good enough is creating all of these circumstances and situations that then puts so much pressure on me that I feel it. I grind my teeth. I clench my teeth. I get tension headaches. I feel overwhelmed often. I take on too many different projects. I feel like
Mhm.
I need to save everybody, help everybody, do everything.
Mhm.
And it all comes down to these beliefs that, oh, I'm not good enough. My
Mhm.
life isn't meaningful as is.
Yeah.
And so it's really powerful to identify these, to have non judgment, and then to have deep compassion for that part that doesn't feel good enough.
Yeah. And I also want to make this point that I feel like there is not a single person listening, Samantha and myself included, that does not feel this way about ourselves in some way, shape, or form. This
Yeah.
this degree of not good enoughness or unworthiness. I feel like this is a very big lesson that we're here in this reality to learn. Like that we're stepping it up, that we're learning that we really are such immensely powerful, loving creatures. Like, I really feel like we're all just here learning this lesson that, wow, I am love and you are love. And that is all we are. And in order to really get it and really, really learn it, I think we first need to experience that doubt in it. That
Yeah.
that am I good enough? Right? Because when you do realize, oh yeah, look at this. I'm made of such shiny, glittery sparkles, and that's all I really am. Oh, alright, I can't believe I thought otherwise. Whoa, that's so much more powerful. I
Yeah.
love doubt for that reason. Like, this is the contrast, right? Like, the shadows, they are such beautiful teachers because it makes the light so much stronger once you get it.
Mm.
Yeah, and we are
That,
all
yeah.
going through this. Every single one of us feels this way. And what's
Mm.
interesting is we don't know that. Like, we think we see these other people and we see people are so confident and, no, they feel unworthy too. They do.
Yeah.
The prettiest woman that I know, like, literally, she is like, artists would paint her, and she's a model, okay, right? Prettiest woman I've ever seen in my life has has feelings of unworthiness, feels like she's
Yeah.
not good enough, feels like she's not pretty enough. Really? You know how many women would wanna look like her, right? Yeah.
What's so interesting about that, I did professional modeling for years, and I had a lot of my friends that were models. And what's so interesting about that is when given so much validation on something that is not actually who you are, like the way you look isn't your soul, it's not who
Right.
you are. So when you're so validated on on what you look like,
Mhm.
it can often diminish your self-esteem, because then you feel like your only value, the only thing you're
Is
seen for,
that
is the way that you look.
right?
And it's so, yeah, it's so great that you mentioned that point, because even the most stunningly beautiful human on the planet
Yep.
will can develop some sense of unworthiness,
Yeah.
because no nothing can make you feel worthy, nothing outside of you. It's just
Right.
the inside game, the inside practice of seeing yourself and believing and affirming to yourself, remembering that you are a manifestation of the divine.
Yeah.
And nothing else can fill that apart from your own seeing yourself.
Yeah. 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 And it's just we all get this and learn this and experience this in our own individual ways. But
Yeah.
we all get to go through this beautiful learning experience. Magical
Yeah.
life. I love it. More and more, I'm just like, thank you, magical life. Thank you for all this learning. You know? It really is
Yeah.
fun.
It is. And that's the thing, because we can see it in either way. We can see it as, oh my gosh, there's always a lesson. And why is that so hard? Why do I have so
Mhm.
many insecurities? Why is it so challenging? Why is my partner this way? Victim, 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 victim. Woe is me. Why is life happening to me? Or we can take it all and say, wow, okay, there are a lot of challenges, a lot of obstacles, a lot of things I'm going through, a lot of things I'm growing through, and I'm grateful,
Yep.
because it's exciting
Mhm.
and it's challenging and it's making me grow and learn and develop and deepen my relationship with myself and remember who I really am and strengthen my partnerships. And I'm just so resilient, and I love this because this is life.
Yeah.
And I get to do this. I signed up for this, and this is not happening to me. It's happening for me, through me, as me. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm in it to win it, and I've got this.
Yeah.
And that perspective changes absolutely everything.
Yeah. It does. Everything. The game changes with that
Yeah.
perspective. Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
a choice, and that's a beautiful thing. That's the other thing we're here learning doing is to make this choice to love
Hmm.
ourselves and to love each other and to see each other as one another. There's only one of us here. Yeah.
So well said. So lighten up.
Right.
Literally, we are light, so
Yes.
lighten up.
Yes.
Release all of the pressure that we're putting on each other. Just like drop the weight, take a breath, move your body, bring in compassion, and really trust. I really practice trusting that everything is okay, everything is working out, and the universe really does have my back.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Always. Always,
Mm,
always, always. So I think this has been such a lovely conversation. Thank you so much, Samantha. We're going to leave you all
mm.
with a song for today. This is Sad Song, Go Fly. Until next time, we love you all.
We love you.
Also, before we cue up today's song, as a quick reminder, don't forget to download the Golden Key audio or ebook as my free gift to you at goldenkey.gift using the Golden Key code POSITIVEHEAD. And please, if you enjoy my gift, leave a positive review on Amazon so others can unlock their lives with the help of the Golden Key as well.
I've been waiting for the day when everyone will say enough. Well, and the stars will all align and we'll see that we don't need their stuff. No, but that day it hasn't come. When it does, I'll be the one who sings to the spirit and the people that not only are we equal, we have wings. Said you might not remember, before you were born you could fly, and you will once again in this life or after you die. But you can learn to do it here, but you must cast away the fear and just go fly. Go fly. Said these moments keep collecting, they make my soul keep resurrecting. I say, oh my. When I sing out mantras for protection, and with careful selection they'll apply. Is this exactly how it is? That this is hers and this is his? I don't think. But it ain't my place to figure out, so I just pay attention in between the links. You might not remember, before you were born you could fly, and you will once again in this life or after you die. But you can learn to do it here, but you must cast away the fear and just go fly. Go fly. I've been burning up a ways, and I'm still learning how to pray and how to guide. Well, I found my balance in reflection and my perfect imperfections. What a ride. Well, our impermanence is perfect, and it will work if you just work it. This is true. Keep marching parallel with ground, and I keep on praying with this sound. Now how about you? I said you might not remember, before you were born you could fly, and you will once again in this life or after you die. But you can learn to do it here, but you must cast away the fear and just go fly. Go fly.